Fox News is on the warpath, and of course so is Mitt Romney, on a new controversy ginned up by the right-wing blogosphere and then Fox News, then Mitt Romney. And it's about a speech that President Obama gave where he was talking about business owners, and they think, and they are saying, that according to them, he says in the speech to the business owners that you didn't build that, meaning you didn't build your own business. Now, the first thing I want to do before I show you Fox's lies about this is to show you the actual context of the line. And I need you to concentrate on what he says about roads and bridges right before he delivers the "you didn't build that" line. So listen for roads and bridges. Cool.
And you know, there are a lot of wealthy, successful Americans who agree with me because they want to give something back. They know they didn't. If you've been successful, you didn't get there on your own. You didn't get there on your own. I'm always struck by people who think, well, it must be because I was just so smart. There are a lot of smart people out there. It must be because I worked harder than everybody else. Let me tell you something. There are a whole bunch of hard-working people out there. If you were successful, somebody along the line gave you some help. There was a great teacher somewhere in your life. Somebody helped to create this unbelievable American system that we had that allowed you to thrive. Somebody invested in roads and bridges. If you got a business, that you didn't build that. Somebody else made that happen. The internet didn't get invented on its own. Government research created the internet, so then all the companies could make money off the internet. The point is that when we succeed because of our individual initiative, but also because we do things together.
So, the theme of the speech is, yes, we succeed because of our individual initiative, but also because we work together. And you know, your teachers helped you, the roads and bridges helped you. In fact, he says, you know, the government built the roads and bridges, and then he turns around and says about the businesses, you didn't build that. He's clearly, the sentence before, referring to the roads and bridges. And perhaps it isn't clear. He could have made it clear. He could have connected the two things. But they were one sentence after another. And then Fox News goes, yes, we can selectively edit that and pretend that he's talking about your business when within the full context of the speech. And that speech goes on and on about how we all do these things together. Now, obviously, Mitt Romney campaign loves this. Immediately, a political attack ad on it. Let's watch.
If you've been successful, you didn't get there on your own. You didn't get there on your own. I'm always struck by people who think, well, it must be because I was just so smart. There are a lot of smart people out there. It must be because I worked harder than everybody else. Let me tell you something. If you got a business, you didn't build that. Somebody else made that happen.
My father's hands didn't build this company. My hands didn't build this company. My son's hands aren't building this company. Did somebody else take out the loan on my father's house to finance the equipment? Did somebody else make payroll every week or figure out where it's coming from? President Obama, you're killing us out here.
You're killing us out here, President Obama. By the way, I took out the line about building the roads and the bridges. That came right before the sentence that said, you didn't build that. So, now that's his opponent. You understand that. That's a political opponent. And, you know, sometimes President Obama has taken Mitt Romney's words out of context. Okay, fair is fair. What's interesting is how Fox News has manipulated this. First of all, this news network has decided to cover this 42 times in the span of 2 days. So on July 16th and 17th, they did 42 different segments on it, and they did a combined 2 hours and 19 minutes of television on it. You have to understand something. In television, if you do a 7-minute segment on something, that's pretty long. You put all those things together, it's 2 hours and 19 minutes of television. That's a gigantic amount of time on television. So then it's not just all their, you know, opinion program. Of course, Greta Van Susteren, Hannity, O'Reilly, on and on. 15-minute segments, 14-minute segments. You know, Fox and Friends did it 9 times. but it's also their so-called straight news programming. Laugh along with me. America's newsroom is supposed to be straight news. They did 6 different segments on this in just 2 days. I don't even know how you can do 6 segments on one topic in 2 days. Anyway, apparently there wasn't much else to cover according to Fox News' straight news. They also brought on Stuart Varney, Senator John Barrasso, and Donald Trump all to talk about this issue, and shockingly enough, they all agreed that it was all President Obama's fault, and that they were shocked and chagrined that he would say this. How many of them put that in the proper context of he was referring to all the things we have built together, like the internet, the roads, and the bridges? A total of 0. In fact, you want to see how propaganda works? And as you watch this, understand the most important part of this is that Fox does this on purpose, because if they cover an issue for long enough and keep repeating it over and over again, it forces the other channels to go, well, I guess, everybody's talking about it. I guess it's a big scandal. And then next thing you know, CNN covers it. Next thing you know, everybody's covering it. Next thing you know, the local news is covering it. This is exactly how Fox News works as a propaganda outlet rather than a news outlet. Watch them pound it here.
So you work hard, you build a successful business. Don't go patting yourself on the back, though.
Small business owners, guess what? The president has a new message for you.
If you got a business, that you didn't build that. Somebody else made that happen.
Huh?
Ooh, you didn't build that? Who built that? Who built that business? Who worked? Who invested? Who took risk?
If you built a small business and made it a big success, you didn't build that.
I think it's disturbing.
It's petty, it's mean, it's ignorant, it's so demeaning, it's so disheartening. It's so infuriating.
It was almost an insult. It was an insult.
Just an insult.
Does President Obama want a do-over?
Successful people shouldn't give themselves all of the credit.
Thank a bureaucrat. President Obama not exactly making friends with business owners.
They shouldn't be considered special in America, and indeed they should pay more in income tax.
Well, I think we're starting to find out the real Obama.
That's a near-socialist approach to economics.
It has a very socialist theme to it.
I get in a lot of trouble for calling him a socialist. His policies are socialist.
And we don't need to have him literally spit in our face and tell us what we're doing is not worthy.
It sounds un-American. It sounds European.
I mean, doesn't it change the whole definition of the American dream to a certain extent?
Those comments go against the very essence of the American success story, the American dream.
It just sounds like a guy who doesn't want to allow businesses to prosper in this country.
This statement, I truly believe, is where he revealed his collectivist preference ideologically. I think it's where he revealed his contempt for capitalism, small business, and the men and women who make this country.
Which other news organization sends talking points to all of their news anchors so they repeat the same exact talking points, like Joe the plumber, socialist, doesn't understand business, and on it goes. Talking Points Memo did a brilliant job of piecing that together. And let me just read you the quote one more time. The sentences next to one another. Somebody invested in roads and bridges. If you've got a business, you didn't build that. Somebody else made that happen. Clearly referring to the roads and bridges that you didn't build, that we all built together. And within the context of the speech, which we shared with you, it's obvious. He's saying, hey, listen, you've got your own initiative, and that's terrific, and that's necessary. And it's also necessary that we work together to build you the roads, the bridges, the internet, to give you the education that you needed to make happen. And that's a theme that the American people agree with. In fact, Mitt Romney, from time to time, says the same thing on the campaign trail. He agrees with it. But when Fox News presented this gift to him, though, of course, he jumped in it and right away started doing a campaign ad against President Obama with this grossly misleading attack. Now, this is why we say Fox News lies.